with this Ignite session. Today's session is capturing leads through open houses. And let me start off by just telling you guys a little bit about myself. I've been a realtor for about almost 5 years, a little bit over 4 years. I was an educator for a very long time. Like, that was my home job. I was a teacher. I was a DSL teacher. I taught kids in elementary school how to speak English when they were coming from other countries. Usually it was from Spanish to English, but there was a lot of different languages all the time. Tagalog, Filipino, Arabic, like the people came from other countries. I would just help with the English language. So I was always in education. I started off mentoring foster kids when I was 17, and I would help them emancipate because the foster system sucks. Once they get older, they're either go to the streets or in jail or prison. They get no help. So that was something that was rewarding for me, especially as a young guy. Then I became an educator. I helped also with the community. I was in Boys and Girls Club. I was a program director for them. I helped the community and kids. I was with kids all the time, helping them grow and teaching them, taking them on field trips, doing the works for the community. It was pretty much volunteer work, and it was very rewarding. That was my day job. I did that all day, and at night I DJ'd. So I had nightclubs I ran, and did the work. So I did everything. I transitioned to real estate because I was just done with the politics in the school district. Everyone just said, hey, you need to get into real estate. And I was like, all right. Procrastinated. And till one time I was like, I'm done. I'm gonna do it. I took classes, took the test. I think I finished my classes and still didn't take my test for like a year and a half after, because I bought a house, procrastinated some more. I know we all know what procrastination's about. We always do it. So I'm here now. It's been great. It's been awesome. My first year in my company, I got a Rookie of the Year. I was at Remax for the first 2-3 years. And every year just grew and grew and grew. So Ignite does help all of us grow. So with that being said, let's get started. I have a small video to show you, and this video, I consider him a mentor. I didn't know him personally, but his sayings are awesome, his teachings are awesome, and what is that? Jesus. Okay, and he's talking about some biblical stuff. I'm not trying to get church on you guys, but it's a story. So I want you to concentrate on the story first as he speaks.
The whole drama of life is unique. Like the Bible is one of the most fascinating books to read because it is so unique in its presentation. One story says, God and Satan were chatting away one day. Now see, I wouldn't have thought that. Isn't that unique? And they're chatting away and looking down on what's going on the earth. Now see, that's unique. I thought, how often do they get together and chat and talk about all this stuff? I don't know. But the drama of the story is absolutely fascinating. I mean, it's unique. And on this particular occasion, the story says, God got to bragging about one of his favorite people, Job. And he got to saying, Job, he's my favorite friend. Job, he's the greatest, he's the richest, he's the most powerful, and I'm taking good care of my friend Job. And he kept saying, Job. And finally Satan got up to here with Job. And he said, yeah, God, Job, your special friend, you've got this wall built around him. I can't get to him in my normal fashion. And God said, well, he's a special friend of mine. Right? We got this thing going, so I'm taking good care of him. Now, this conversation is going on. I find that fascinating. I find it unique. And finally, in the scenario of the story, Satan says to God, I tell you what, God, if you were to take that special wall of protection down from around your special friend, and if you were to let me at him, I promise you in a short period of time, doing my specialty, he will curse you to your face and then die. God said, you're out of your mind. He would never do that. Not my special friend. Satan said, would you like to wager? Wow. Isn't that fascinating? God says, interesting question. I wonder what Job would do. Now see, Job doesn't know this is going on. Isn't that fascinating? That's a fascinating story. Finally, according to the scenario of the story, unbelievable, God went for the bet. And he had just one requirement. He said, just one thing. Satan said, what's that? God said, well, you can't kill him. Because he's my special friend. Satan said, okay, I don't need to kill him. But you just take the wall down, let me do my number, and I promise you, he will curse you. God said, no way. Satan said, I will do it. And the bet is on. Isn't that fascinating? That's fascinating. According to the terms of the wager, God did as he was required by the wager, and he took the wall down from around his special friend. And when he did, according to the story, Satan did one of his all-time famous numbers on the man. First, took his family. Second, took his wealth, destroyed it. And blow 3, took his health. That's called triple blow. Your family, your fortune, and your health. In one of the last scenes, Job is sitting on the ashes with everything gone. And he is scraping his sores with a rock. And his wife comes along, and she's observed all of this scenario. God forsaking his special friend Job. And she said to Job, it looks like your friend has forsaken you. Why don't you just curse him and die? Satan said to God, here's where it ends. God says, he hasn't talked yet. Isn't that fascinating? That's fascinating. While they both watch, wondering the outcome of this wager, Job says, from his ashes, never. I will never curse my friend. God said, I knew it. I knew it. And he picks up the bet. 10 to 1 or whatever it was, I don't know. It doesn't say what the wager was. Isn't that fascinating? Now, the rest of the story says God did make it up to his friend, Job. And when you play these kind of games, you do have to make it up. Let's see, what shall I do? I know what I'll do. I'll just give Job twice of everything he had before. Wow. And Job became, according to history, one of the richest, most powerful men in the known world. But isn't that a fascinating scenario? Don't you find that fascinating?
I find it fascinating. He said fascinating a lot of times, I know. So, the reason why I added that video was because in the story, there's faith. There's God had faith in this guy, and Job had faith in God, and we're all here for a reason. All of us right here. We have someone counting on us, whether it's your husband, wife, kids, uncle, the list goes on, etc. You're here for that reason, and that reason may be huge to others. Obviously, you're here for a reason. Regardless of what your personal goals may be, you have people counting on you and having faith. can do it. You know, I don't want you guys to give up. You know, it's gonna be hard from beginning to however far you get into real estate. And you're gonna have storms, you're gonna have the worst transactions ever. I've been through them. I think that's the worst. I'm probably gonna have worse ones later in life. It just happens. But don't give up. You have people counting on you. All right? Don't quit. All right. So here's our course overview. I don't know if you can see this. We're going to capture leads with open houses. Today we are covering how to capture leads with open houses. We'll go over the benefits of open houses, some of the best practices, and look at the prepare, prospect, and pursue model. All right? So, if your birthday falls between May and July, who has a May or July through July?
July.
You got May through July?
June. May.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, who said May? Because I'm a May guy. I know you're fairly new, right? Since you started, what have been some encounters that you have had, maybe struggles, maybe
Oh, with individuals?
with real estate, period?
With real estate. I've had a lot of troubles. So far is trying to see how I manage my time. And obviously my investment is myself, so I have to see how much money I have to put into what I put out. So it's also management of my money. And then it's trying to talk to people, because as we covered yesterday, I have a situation where I won't speak to someone, like offer them, I won't speak to them and like to try to get a lead if I don't have something to offer them first. So I don't want to come off as if I'm only talking to them because
Just for business.
Just for business. I want them to, I want them to feel engaged. Like I'm genuinely, because I genuinely do care if I know them, right? But it's just more like talking to strangers, you know. So, and then just maybe like support of my family. Like my dad jokes around a lot, and you know it's kind of hard. Like, you know, you speak Spanish? Yeah, right.
Yes.
No vas a hacer esto, no vas a hacer lo otro. So it's just that I know it's joking around, but it kind of does really just.
It gets in your head.
It gets in your head because, you know, I used to generate a lot in my previous profession. So to start from zero, it's just like, oh shoot, this is a whole different tax bracket, which is zero. You know,
Yeah,
so.
that's what happened to me. I went from a career to sink or swim.
Yeah,
and
so.
It happens, but you're learning right now how to, like with your scripts, with talking to people, and that way you don't feel that you're just like, hey, here's my real estate.
Yeah, so I am very appreciative of the individuals that so far have come across and who have offered their time and the knowledge that they have, you know, and their contacts. So I'm trying to soak up as much as possible. So there are troubles, but I see that with troubles there are, you know, some good that's coming out of it. So, yeah.
Good. Who said June?
June.
June. Give me a positive thing that's gonna happen with real estate.
Positive. Well, positive was recently the open house that I did on Saturday. I got 5 people to come in, and I have 4 potential listings there.
Wow. Good job.
I just have to work it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's July? Something positive.
I've been showing up to Legion every day since it began.
That's
Positive.
That is positive. It's hard too.
It is very hard, especially when you've been working since last Monday, and I'm just been doing something for real estate every day since then.
That's good. That's great. Has everyone been able to meet with their accountability partner?
I've spoken to my accountability partner.
You have spoken. Anyone met?
Oh, no, I have not.
No one met with them? Give you guys attention. Because How about spoken to them on the phone?
I've got my-
Yeah? Are you guys doing what you have to do? Keeping accountable of each other? Yeah? Hopefully, because this is where it trickles down. Like at first, Amy was in here, you guys are like, yay, us forever. And then what happens is, it's not yay us forever, it's yay us just for that day, so you can be like pumped up, you know? It's like when you go to these seminars and they pump you up, then you go back home and don't do anything. So I would just try to get them going, try to get it going. If you're having issues, let us know, you know, we'll help you. Or we might need to change partners or talk to each other. So, because that's important. So here's today's agenda, and I think, what page is this in the regular one? 7-2, right?
Yes.
That's today's agenda. Capture leads with open houses, best practices, prepare, prospect, pursue, recap, and ahas, and daily successes. Real quick, before we start, because I know that when it comes to open houses, it's strategies, okay? It's not a lot of craziness, it's just strategies. Don't count, you cannot count on this not much list. You know, it starts off with your mindset, number one. You have to make sure your mindset is where it needs to be in the whole real estate process. There's a lot of not much list. And by that, I mean, what if all your negative people turn positive? What would that do for your future and your business? Not much, right? What if prices came down a little in the world right now, in the economy, what's that gonna do for your business and your success? Not much. What if the economy gets a little better? I know it's going up and down. What's that gonna do for your guys' business? Not much. So don't get stuck in your not much stuff. Right now we have Democrats in office. Is that gonna do anything for your business? I know we can argue about that, but not much, right? If Republicans go in, it's not gonna do much, thank you, for your business. If you don't make a plan for your future, guess what will always fit into someone else's plan? Guess what that is?
Not much.
Not much. Because they're gonna have something planned for you, and guess what?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be.
May not be what.
So what's gonna make the difference? You're gonna have to take charge. First thing you have to do is change your philosophy, your mind, pick up new ideas and information, okay? You don't need to change prices, taxes, you don't need to change the economy because it's not gonna change much in your business. You have to change yourself. If you change, everything will change for you, so always remember that mindset. Today, we'll be covering open houses. We went over the agenda. By the end of this session, we will be able to, I don't know if you guys have this. Describe the benefits of holding an open house. Identify the best practices for holding an open house. Be prepared to hold an open house. To start thinking about, you will learn today, let's consider what questions we might have and what we'd like to learn more about. So, right now, find a partner, have a 3-minute conversation about your questions and what you would like to learn about, and put them on your notes on your participation guide, please. So you have about 3 minutes. Just make some questions about what you guys want to learn, you know, talk about.
Questions. I want to the Jimmy. Yeah, for sure. We all do it a little different.
Sorry, can you repeat that? Learn to talk about what?
Questions you guys want to learn today about open houses, you know.
Oh, okay. So, inconsistent traffic.
How do I create inconsistent?
Yeah. Inconsistent traffic is like, how do we put that into question?
That's not my question. How do I create inconsistent?
Yeah, it's a very good question. How do we create consistent traffic? Why hold your house per Maybe you don't need to listen to your parents, right? Ask someone else. What else?
What should I have?
Yeah, man, great life think alike, great mind think alike. I literally thought, like, what stuff?
But I need to have like value and have like run open house.
I think turns are the enemy for just turns in general.
All right, let's wrap it up.
A lot of signs of us.
Who would like to share some questions? Who would like to share some questions? JD?
What is your strategy? Like what's something that you do that you can share with us?
Okay,
Maybe
so
it's your own thing, maybe it's just how you start.
in a little bit, I'm supposed to talk about that, but
Okay. We can wait. We can wait.
He's a student getting ahead of the teacher.
well, he's a teacher himself, so he's gonna ask the best question there is. There's a lot of things, that we do as agents. There's different things that one person does, that another person does. I like to market myself in different ways. People say I am the funniest realtor in town. But I like to put some humor into some, things. That's one of my things that I do, just to get people's attention.
On social media, right?
Yeah, social media, for sure. But yeah, we will get more into what we all do. Anyone else, questions?
I have a question.
Go for it.
How many flyers do you print and do you personally hand them out in the neighborhood and how far out? The
Okay.
circumference from, the actual open house?
So we're not gonna answer the question, we're just gonna ask the questions, but it depends on you, how far you wanna go, I usually print out like 50 flyers, and try to hit that small circumference of, some neighborhoods are like 300 houses, some are 30 houses, so I try around. What do you do?
We do about 30, like 30 realistically. 'Cause
Yeah.
It takes about an hour to, knock and drop 30.
50 at most.
50 if you're just.
Most, yeah, yeah.
And do you do it on the day of the open house, or I've heard that you do it a
Oh.
day or two before?
It's like Jimmy said, it
Both.
depends on the agent.
I do both. Or I'll send someone to do it for me.
There you go.
As well, one of the days,
Mhm.
and then I'll do it the next day. For sure. Anyone else? Twice.
How can I elevate my open house the day of to just make it more of like a event type of thing?
There's different strategies. We're gonna go over that for sure. Like it's all on you. Like honestly, the other day I saw a bounce house, and I was like, is that an open house? Because there was a sign in front. It wasn't. But then I was like, an open house would be cool. Then I started thinking liability stuff. And
Right.
No, not open, not a bounce house. But there are different things you can do. You know what I mean?
Face painting.
Yeah, face painting, yeah, anything. Depends on the weather, I guess, too.
Do a barbecue?
People have done barbecues. People have done barbecues. Who doesn't like hot dogs and hamburgers and things like that? So,
That's a lot.
well, for you or for someone else, if someone else says like, I'll do it, it just depends.
Depends how much motivation you have.
And it depends on if the sellers are willing to let you do that. So you always have to ask, for sure. I don't want to throw a barbecue and have my DJ system out there. And they're like, hey, what's going on? With their ring, they can see cameras and stuff. So no.
You could set up a tent on your way out after seeing the house.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they are.
Cecilia, can you read the quote, please?
Nothing else about your business will have as big of an impact on it as the number of leads you have.
For sure. Nothing else about your business. Remember, this is your business. Will have as big an impact on it as the number of leads you have. So, why do we begin this session on open houses with this quote? What's your number one job? To gain leads, right? Especially with this. Supposed to gain leads. Number one job. There is one way to impact the number of leads you have. And why hold open houses? What is the purpose or goal of an open house? So what's the main purpose?
Sell the house, get leads.
Sell the house, right? And get leads. A lot of you are new agents. So as new agents, open houses can be easy. They can be fun. They can be the number one thing that a lot of people say is low cost.
Do you have to do anything when you, let's say, right now there's a lot of listings, like, oh, I need someone to do an open house for me. Do I have to do the research for that house, or will that agent provide me?
They can help you, give you information, but you have to definitely do all the research. Because ultimately, you're doing the open house, all those leads are yours.
Oh, okay.
You're not sharing it.
Just find it on the MLS.
Oh,
Yeah, but if you still want to do your own research on the house, on the area.
like flyers and everything? 'Cause
Yes,
okay.
yes.
If you have an open house for an outside agent, right? And how would I play the split commission? Would it be a contract in the middle for that, or?
Split commission for what?
In case I
That
find
lead
the
is
buyer.
yours. The buyer is yours. It's not theirs.
If they're
If they're
outside.
letting you,
It doesn't matter.
if they're letting you do an open house, unless they're like, we can split the leads, or which is
But
kind
if
of
they don't bring
fishy.
it up, it's your lead.
Yes, your lead, 100%.
We're
Everybody.
talking about the buyer, though. That's their listing. But if the
But if
buyer
you get the
is
buyer.
captured right there and then,
That's your person, 100%.
You wouldn't refer them to the listing agent. You would become their
That's your
agent.
buyer. That's why you're doing the open house for someone.
For your leads.
And then the whatever split they give is for the buyer's commission. Yeah.
Are you allowed as a Keller Williams agent
Sure.
to do open houses for other people?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Like for
Oh my God.
other agencies?
Yes,
I've done.
I have
You're
people-
gonna go snatch a puppy.
I have people call me
offer
from
me.
Port
Like,
Grid,
no.
from Remax, from, they're like, can I do open house on your house? I was like,
No.
let me find out if, because I do know them, but still, it just depends.
Like
Some
there's
people are
certain
willing.
things that I've known outside of our brokerage that I know, and I'll ask them if I could do open house, and then I do.
Yeah.
So then, if you do an open house as a Keller Williams agent, right? And you do it for Remax, and you get 5 leads, those are 100% your leads.
100% your
And so,
Well,
why
yeah,
would the
you're-
Remax agent do that?
I don't know, but you can do it. So,
Oh,
to get more leads.
Yeah, well, the remix agent
Sometimes
wants
you
to
just
market
don't
the
have
property.
agents that, to do an open house.
Yeah.
There's a
Oh,
lot
I
of
was like,
seasoned
they're all
agents that
open.
don't do them, or hold them, or they're busy or on vacation, or they have so many clients, they're doing other ones.
It depends on the timing of the market too.
Okay.
If there's people that don't want to do open houses,
How about a broker offering you to do an open house every weekend and they pay you to do it?
Even better.
Yes.
that's on you and the broker, that's
Yeah.
between you guys.
Okay, a broker not at Keller Williams.
That's tricky, that's.
Oh,
That's what I was
That's tricky.
asking.
Yeah.
That
I
outside
would
listing-
talk to our broker about it or management
Oh,
about
yeah,
that
that's
first.
what I thought,
But
because I've been offered that, and I keep saying, you know,
that's
I'm
tough
sorry, I
because
can't
you have to,
do
you would
that.
have to be on their payroll or they would have to cut you a check because I wouldn't take cash.
If you're busy.
That's tough.
No, they're
I don't want to
saying,
give up my son though.
they're saying, do the open house and they'll bill you $250.
I would ask our broker first
That's where.
before you do anything. All right, guys. Where was I? Okay, so they're fun, low cost, to find buyers. Your goal in holding an open house is not only to sell the home, but put yourself in a path of opportunity. The business opportunity to, number one, what are you doing at open houses? You're meeting people,
Building relationships.
you're meeting people, building relationships, adding to your database, setting appointments, especially when you have interested buyers. So that's like the best news ever that you can get, especially if you're trying to find buyers. For many agents, holding open houses is their #1 strategy. So a lot of agents love open houses, and that's their #1 niche to, get buyers. They like buyers if they have, a listing or borrowing someone's listing. That's their #1 strategy to build a strong business. And it can be for you guys too, if that's what you like doing. You have to follow a proven model, and buyers and sellers will come to you. Other visitors may not be actively looking to buy or sell. Nevertheless, a memorable and favorable impression can always generate referrals now and business farther down the road. So if you meet someone, they're just being metiches, they're nosy, just to see what the house looks like. Talk to them, get their info, have them get your contact, because maybe you made an impression on them. Maybe they're like, oh man, this house is gonna sell for this much. Maybe, they'll think about it. So once they think about it, guess who they might go to? The person that, made an impression on them. Since we're talking about open houses today in this time, I have to say this. It's important before engaging in in-person activities to consult in your jurisdiction rules regarding COVID precautions. Contact your local realtor, I sound like a commercial, huh? Contact your local association for best practices, end quote. It says, so, open houses, there's a couple that stick out for me that I've done. I did an open house when I first started for an agent mentor. He was mentoring me a little bit. He was a friend, and he was like someone that convinced me to go to that brokerage. So I did an open house it was my first open house. People came and they liked the house. They're like, all right, it's cool, but it's not the one. I was like, all right, here's my info, here's this, that. They came from Newhall or somewhere down Santa Clara Valley. I was like, all right, so maybe we can meet. I had just started the open house. And they're like, well, we want to see more houses, this, that. They're like, we need to buy something now. They had their pre-approval. I didn't want them to escape. And so I held them captive for a little bit. And then I asked another agent if he can cover for me, you know. And the agent came through fast, and I ended up taking them to like 1 million houses for like 3 months. But still, that's not the point. They stuck with me. They ended up buying 2 houses and selling 2 within 2 years, 3 years, you know. So you can't give up on them. You know, people come in and out. I know sometimes you just look at them and you're like, they're not gonna buy it. Don't think that way, because they might be your golden child of real estate. So, yes, go ahead.
How can you show them a house so quick? Don't you have to like make an appointment or something?
Oh, yeah.
To open the
You need to work. You gotta work it, so it's like, they wanna see a house, you call the agent, can I go see it? Some of them are vacant, you can go show them, so it just depends on what they wanna see. Obviously, some, you need an hour or 2, and you probably can't make it, you know, but I would still call, you know, and try to set it up. But yeah, there's always opportunity in open houses. Anyone have done open houses here? Anyone had a great experience, like awesome one?
I've had pretty successful open houses.
Okay, give me an example.
That's my number 1 source of lead gen. I hate doing anything else but that. Right now, I'm working with people that, like you said, I've met. I see them, I'm like, oh, that's not gonna work, but it's actually, you know, getting them pre-qualified. Now we're out searching for a house for them. So yeah, it does work. I've gotten up to like 37 people one time.
37?
Yeah. This was like back in.
That was a COVID,
you know,
right?
No, this was like back in like May,
That's
you know, when the market was hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it works. You just have to make it work.
Anyone else?
So I did an open house in July, and that day they responded to an email. And then on Monday, they started talking to the lender and got pre-approved the same week.
Nice, that's good. Okay, how about any horrible situations? Go ahead.
I had a good open house. I received a call on Monday, but then they were like, "Oh, you're not the agent that I talked to." So they got me like confused with the agent, and they still went through. We did the offer and everything, but I didn't see them in person. So I just did it with my mentor, and I told my mentor, should I go to their house like to kind of like capture them because I don't even remember them. And my mentor was like, no, we're just gonna do it over the phone. So we did it over the phone, but then like next weekend, I guess they got a call from their real estate agent. They didn't have any sign, but they did sign with me, and now they were like, oh, okay, sorry, we made a mistake. Like it wasn't you who we were looking for. We got the numbers wrong. So that was that. That was horrible.
Yeah. Anything stick out for you, JD?
Yeah, I mean, a couple different things, but I think the best open house we had like over 100 people come through. But that was more market timing. No, it was actually a while back. It was like 2013 or something like that. They were doing that first-time buyer credit. So a lot of people coming in because of that. So that was pretty interesting. No, be safe out there when you're doing your open houses. Partner up if you can. Let people know you got a plan and stuff, but be safe and.
We are allowed to take someone with us.
Oh, yeah.
They don't have to be licensed?
Not if you're there.
Oh,
No.
Some people take their spouse.
Yeah.
I've taken my kids.
Oh, he only brings me food and then he leaves.
No, they
Like,
can
I'm
stay.
gonna see me, I'm like,
I've had open houses where we needed 2 people because traffic's just coming through, so it helps. Usually it's like a lender or something. But husband's perfect.
oh yeah, he brings me food.
Even better.
I'm 4 hours there.
If I wouldn't. I had a situation where I had a house in Santa Clarita. It was like $1.4 million house. It was super nice. And I was doing an open house, and there was like probably 25 people came in. And there was a dog in the backyard locked up, but someone wanted to see that area and let it open. I left it open. And after like an hour or two when I was done, I went out to make sure everything was good and the dog wasn't there. So I went outside, I freaked out, I'm all calling his name, Lucky, his name was Lucky, and he wasn't Lucky. But I called him everywhere, like I was searching for 2 hours, luckily we found him. And, you know, it wasn't my fault, but it's your fault. They're gonna look at it like it's your fault, because you were there at the house. So always, you know, make sure you're secure with everything. If they have dogs, you know, pets, anything. Cats love to sneak out.
What if they bring a dog?
You can, if you don't think the I
No.
wouldn't, you know, let them in, you know.
But then you-
Unless if they're holding them, they're like, you know.
Because there's so
maybe.
many people that like, they claim that they're service dogs.
Right.
But that's someone's house.
Right.
I don't have to
Get
let
permission
someone
from the
that's has a service dog in my house. It's my house. No, I can't. I'm not allowed to do that. So it's kind of your fault. Go ahead.
I had an open house where no one showed up, okay?
Oh, yeah, I have
And
those.
the owner of the house didn't leave. So she started telling me about her whole life story. And I was like, ay Dios mío.
I didn't want to go back there anymore. That's too
And she never left. And nobody showed up, and I had to hear her talking for 3 hours. Like, I thought I was gonna die.
You should have messaged someone like, pretend to be a buyer.
She was a nice lady, but man, and I spent 3 hours of my life listening to this woman. Oh my God. But unfortunately, that's what you have to go through.
For sure. So you're gonna go through the best times that aren't gonna be, you know, the best. Some people might not show up, you know, feel bummed out. There's something I always think of when things like that happen. When it comes to positive thinking won't let you do anything. Okay. I get annoyed when you hear people saying, "Oh, positive thinking makes you do everything." You know, it's gonna pump you up. You're gonna do everything. Just think positive. Just think positive. At my age, I don't care how positive I got. I couldn't beat Mike Tyson in a fight. You know what I mean? I can think the most positive. I still couldn't beat him in a fight. I couldn't play in the NFL. I couldn't be in the NBA. I couldn't talk to you about nuclear physics, no matter how positive I thought. All right? So it's not just about being positive, but positive thinking will let you do anything. It won't let you do anything, but it will let you do everything better than negative thing. So I know that's like a mind mess up right now.
Mindset.
But it's all about your mindset. That's exactly my point. We'll always have to begin with checking your mindset. So, in day one, you were introduced to the 6 personal perspectives. Significantly remove your limiting beliefs. However, you may be having some limiting beliefs about open houses, and let's dispel them right away. All right, so who knows what dispel means? Yeah, just get them out. Does anyone, and I'm gonna go to the next slide, have any limiting beliefs about holding open houses?
No.
Here are a few listed on the slide. So, anyone have limiting beliefs? Go ahead.
I don't know how to do them right.
Okay, that's a big one. So, what do you?
No, like in general, like I don't know how to market it, and like I don't know how to choose them sometimes.
Okay,
Yeah,
and that's why you're here today, because
yeah.
we're gonna learn about all that. So, what do you feel, is it just more confidence?
It's about confidence. It's really like more confidence about what I'm doing while I'm doing them.
Okay. Anyone else have any limiting beliefs? Because we have some here, but I will go over them. Anyone have any? No, everyone's perfect. Okay. I don't. One of these are. Let's address them. One of them is. Who wants to read the first one?
I don't have any lessons to open up.
Yep. I don't have any listings to hold open houses. A lot of people are like, well, I can't do them because I don't have a listing. You know what I mean? What can you do?
Borrow somebody's signs.
Or what?
Borrow somebody, I'm the wrong one. Ask somebody from the office to use their house.
Yep, ask other agents in your office or market center for permission to hold one, you know, and that's easy. Like, you could just ask. There's a lot of people that ask on, you know, our Keller Williams Facebook or whatever, you know, they're like, hey, who wants to do an open house? If you guys really want to do open houses, you can find open houses.
Do they won't care if you have no experience? They're like, ah.
Maybe they will, but guess what? They are looking for someone, so they need a body there, because they can't do it. Because their seller probably wants them to do it, and they're probably gonna go out of town, go spend time with their family, and they just need someone to cover. And guess what? That's your opportunity to,
For that, what can help you? Because I wasn't afraid of my first open house because I tag along with someone.
I was gonna ask if there's a shuttle program or something, because
if you need someone to go with you and do an open house, you have a bunch of agents here that are willing to do it. You can ask one of us, you know, there's people willing to do it. Because sometimes when you do partners, you kind of have to like figure out, hey, if you get a lead or if I get a lead, how are we gonna work it out?
If you have a preferred lender too, they can go with you.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. So yeah, we're gonna go over that.
what I was
There's
just
different
wondering,
people.
like the person just watching.
Yeah, I was there just to watch, not to take any.
Yeah, just to watch.
Yeah, and I make them know, like, I let them know, I'm just gonna be there here to watch, I'm not gonna get any of your leads. And
Well, if you
they
wanna
know-
do that, just to watch,
Just to
you can.
watch.
The first
You
one, I'll let
definitely can. You know, people are doing, like this weekend, a lot of people are doing, I'm doing open house, like I'm sure the guys are doing open houses, you know, just ask. I don't have any signs yet.
Borrow.
Borrow from who? What if I don't wanna let you myself? My signs have my face on them like this.
There's always a reason that'll let you borrow.
The mentorship,
I
you're in the
borrowed for like
mentorship
my first
program.
year.
Yep.
Oh, George Ship has it?
George has some, yeah, he has some out there. We have some, I'll let you borrow and the agents usually let me borrow them. So that's another thing that, you know, it's super easy. The
I have
third,
4, but I still borrow another
Yeah.
4 just to have 8, because I couldn't afford 8.
ABC shirt, what's your name?
Brian?
Brian, can you read the third one?
I may not know the answers to questions visitors have.
Okay, so how can we know the answers? What do you have to do?
It's a great question, let me find out and I'll get back to you.
And then you get their information.
And then you get their information.
You already have that one?
You look
What
on the
would you
MLS.
do? Would you just go unprepared?
Yeah.
No, so you would have to prepare in advance for sure. And there's, like she said also, we can discuss later, or give me your information. But for sure, you wanna go prepared, 100%. The next one, who wants to read the next one? Go ahead.
Which one are we on?
4.
Open houses don't really work because most people look online.
So, open houses don't work. Is that true?
No.
I don't know anyone that would say that.
The open house is online.
Right? Yes, people do look online, that's where they look, for sure. But buyers and neighbors, like, that actually walk through open houses provides, and they still give you opportunity to meet people, that's the number one thing. So, honestly, when you look, it's rare that someone looks online on Zillow or Redfin or whatnot and puts an offer. I wouldn't tell my clients, hey, I'll put it in. I'll tell them, let's go see the house. For sure, 100%. Because my photographer can make the ugliest house look like Buckingham Palace. So it's, you know, you want them to go. Or it can be vice versa. Sometimes the pictures aren't great. Have you seen the guy that's in the picture taking of himself in the mirror? Like, I don't want to go see that house. You know, it's like, it sucks. So you go and see it and you're like, oh, it's actually a nice house. So the pictures didn't do it justice, so always take them. So they always, your open houses are worth it, 100%. And the last one,
I won't feel safe.
oh, who said that?
Me.
Oh, I won't feel safe. very valid point, which we'll cover today. Consider buddying up, like someone said, with another agent. For sure, because if you guys can figure something out, then that's the way to go. If you guys don't feel comfortable doing it by yourselves. Okay, you do guys have your participant guide. Should every house be held open?
No.
Should every house have an open house?
Yes.
Every single house?
No.
Raise your hand if you say yes.
Yes.
Raise your hand if you say no.
I'm sorry.
If every house should be open.
Should every house
Oh, not
have an open house?
necessarily, no.
No.
Okay, this is where it gets tricky. Under what circumstances would you not recommend doing an
Tenants.
open house?
When the house has expensive things, like it can be broken or stolen.
Okay, anyone else?
Like if it's a big shopper, it needs a lot of work done.
Okay,
When it's dirty and it smells,
okay.
come on. You know, some people don't live clean. You can't sell something if it's dirty and it's.
For the right price, you can sell it.
Even a tenant.
Yeah, and all those are facts. So the number one, of course, is if the seller does not want you to do an open house. I've had, situations where the seller doesn't want you to do an open house. Some sellers are not agreeable on like decluttering or mess, cleaning up, sanitizing, etc. So that house does not show well. You know what I mean?
Right.
There was this open house that I did, and always check every room. I'm telling you, I made all the mistakes. I made all the mistakes. So the house was clean. It was a nice house, had a pool and everything, and I had like 20, 30 people in the open house. And an agent that knew me, they're like, hey, it's a nice house. We might put an offer, but what's up with the mold? I was like, what's up with the mold? What do you mean the mold? And like the bathroom has like a lot of mold in it. I was like, what are you talking about? So I go in, and in the shower part, it was all green and black.
Oh, my gosh.
So it was surface mold, luckily. I got to fix it.
Another touch.
But sometimes you slip up and don't check everything, and everything could look nice, but then there's mold. So just make sure you cover your tracks in the whole house. But there are situations where it's messed up. When it's not necessary to show, for example, last year, that seller's market, when there are immediate, like 1,000 offers in 1 minute. Like, you don't necessarily have to do it because you have 1,000 offers in 1 minute. And the seller's happy with that. They don't want you to do an open house. During pandemic times, such as COVID, you can't show. So those are the main reasons on when you should not do open houses or can't. Okay, capture leads with open houses where we're at, and I think, what page are we on in the book? In the participant guide? Okay,
I have a question.
yes.
Does that happen often where buyers put an offer on a house without even seeing the house?
Not often. That's why I said it doesn't happen often.
Oh.
It's happened. I have an investor that's like, hey, I want that house. I'm like, all right, he's up for an offer. I was like, and I know him already. I'm like, let me go see it for you real fast. So I'll go see it, check it out real fast. I know what he wants. There'll come a time you might have someone like that. Or if it looks clean, some people want to put offers in and get the offer in subject to seeing it, which I hate, but you can do it. You know, if you go see it, you don't like it, the offer is invalid. Brandon, question, tell the people, what is your best open house experience you've had?
My best open house experience? Well, I sold the house,
Well, now the whole story's done. You already know the outcome. Well, it was all of them open houses are great. What are you talking about? I had an open house once where it was like boom, boom, boom all day. It's because I marketed the heck out of it. I door knocked it, I circle prospected it, I sent door hangers, and I had like 50 people come to it, neighbors online, and it was crazy. I had some sellers come, I had 2 sellers come from it, and I sold the house from one of the buyers that came there. But you gotta put it to work.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And that was like an $18,000 check.
Nice, cool. See?
What is circle prospect? Sorry.
Well, you just cold call the neighborhood.
Go.
Hey, just wanted to let you know we're having an open house this weekend. Are you guys gonna be in the area?
Yeah.
We'll stop on by the open house.
Where do you get the numbers, Brendan, for that?
Frank Donato, Monarch Title, right down the street here.
You get a farm, they'll send you a farm list of the neighborhood, you just tell them the neighborhood, and they'll send you a list of phone numbers of all the neighbors that you can call. So that's a great one. Anyone out in Zoomville? Zoomville, are you guys alive?
Oh, come on, Andrew.
Andrew, Esther, someone? They're not paying attention.
I think just put up the picture and that's it.
What's up, Jimmy?
Hey, do you have any experiences, any bad experiences? I wanna know your bad ones.
At an open house?
Yes.
I would say not. Well, I've had actually one weird experience. So about a month ago with the listing I had, I did an open house. I brought some donuts and I was expecting a big turnout. Didn't get the biggest turnout, but some guy walked in and he seemed a little off, if you will. And like after everything he was saying, he was like, I forgot what word he was saying. After every word, he would say a specific word. But he came in and I was trying to talk to him about the house, trying to see if he was interested. And he like wasn't paying attention. He grabbed a donut and said, "Hey, can I grab 2 of them, one for whoever?" And I was like, "Sure, that's fine." Then he grabbed 2 more donuts and then he just walked out the house. That was a little bit weird. I don't think he was interested in the house. Like I said, something definitely seemed off. That was probably the weirdest experience I had.
All right.
But there'll be more to come. So.
Esther, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Esther has done open houses for me. She always asks, "Oh, hey, can I do open house? Can I do open house?"
I'm doing an open house right now at 3 o'clock.
So, can you give us a good experience?
Absolutely. Actually, it was one your listing when I worked at. I was actually at Remax still, and of course, I'm always calling any new listing that's available. Can I do an open for you? And then so like, Jimmy, can I do your open house? I said, yeah, I got that open house, and then ended up turning into a listing and a buy.
And a buy, so she got 2 out of it. I was so mad because it could have been mine, but
That's what you get.
that's what I get for giving up my open house. But see, you guys have the opportunity 100%. Thank you, Esther. So you guys know that the 2 main goals for open houses are to sell and generate leads. Who does the open house benefit?
The sellers. And you.
The able.
Okay. No, you guys are right. I'm not saying you're wrong. Sellers, that's it?
And the agent.
So it benefits for sure 1,000,000% the seller. To show the house to lots of potential buyers all at one time, so that means you're getting that high exposure. To the buyers, right? Why to the buyers? Why does it benefit the buyers?
They get to see the house.
Without any obligation, right? They just can go inside and see it. Without being, what else? Qualified. They can see it without being qualified. To research houses, all around. Also, someone that benefits, the neighbors. Because they can do what?
See how much their home is worth compared
They
to.
can compare, exactly, they can compare that house to their house. Cause sometimes, let's say I have a house, there's a house actually somewhere close to mine, not in my neighborhood, because I would not let that happen. But there's a house close to mine, I think it's my model too, my model home. And I was like, there's something there for like $569 or something like that. I was like, I know what my house was, but I wanna go see the inside of that house. You know, to see the upgrades. I know the listing agent, I know how he remodels and everything, I just wanted to see how it looks. So that was me kind of being a neighbor, just to go check out the house, how it looks differently. So sometimes people wanna see if they can remodel their homes and make it look nice or not. Or if they'd rather spend money on another house and sell their house. So the neighbors are always, you know, a good prospect. There's some agents that don't like the nosy neighbors, because they're like, nosy neighbors, I'm not gonna get business out of it. It's not true.
They get referrals too.
They can tell people, you know, hey, my neighbor's having this, let me go see it for you. I've had a buy where I was doing open house and the neighbor came in and she said it's perfect for my niece or something like that, and they bought a house. Not that one, but they still bought one. So it's not a roll of the dice, it's just following, you know, strategy. And it also benefits us, the agents, because like we said, we capture leads to potential buyers, other sellers, future buyers, and future sellers. We get to connect with the neighborhood prior to the event. Like you guys do no door knocking, right? Right before? Do you? So see, there's one thing you need to do. Door knock either the day before or a couple hours, you know, before your open house. You're gonna connect with neighbors. I know there's a lot of people that hate doing door knockings, right? But just to go talk, like, her name? Ellen? What's your name?
Belen.
Oh, Belen, with a B. Okay. You don't like going door knocking, right?
While on door knock, I leave like notes.
Okay, but do you like going door knocking? Knock, knock, hi, I'm here to sell real estate or anything like that? A lot of people don't, I don't.
If I'm more comfortable, then yes. Depends on the neighborhood.
Okay, so now with open houses, are you comfortable with door knocking? Anyone?
Actually, I am
Yeah, you're okay?
yeah, I've done door knocking for listings, I've done door knocking for political campaigns. So I'm good.
You guys have a reason, an excuse, you call it, to go door knock and not.
Not
get-
sell.
Yes, not like feel embarrassed that someone's gonna, you know, slam the door on you. Now you have a flyer, hey, just to let you know, I'm doing an open house down the street, it's your neighbor's house. You don't even have to give them a whole spiel, it's just like, here's the info, hope to see you there. I'm gonna have cookies, you know, I'm gonna have drinks, whatever you guys do. So that's very, very important, because you can capture the neighbors by that way. You also place signs with your names throughout the neighborhood or your company name. Who has signs? Who's waiting to get signs?
Like to buy.
Yes. Okay. George Ventura does signs, great, he does my signs. George here does signs as well. So if you guys need signs, those are probably the best and affordable signs and fastest. Go ahead.
So George Perez one time mentioned these stickers that you need to get for the city of Palmdale, or else they'll confiscate your signs. Has that ever happened to you, or how do you go about that?
I've heard about those stickers.
But you do have to, you go to City Hall and give you a little permit.
Actually, I asked George, like, what was the name of the place that I had to put my stickers? And he said they're not doing that anymore.
I don't think they're doing, I haven't
George
heard of
Perez
it.
told me.
Are they still doing the stickers on the?
Oh, I have no idea.
That means he didn't put stickers on his, neither did I.
It's been years.
And all his these signs don't have
I know that some of them, like, I'll be driving around and none of the signs have these.
I have never seen a sticker ever in my life.
You should definitely contact your city officials and double check the regulations,
Yeah.
for sure. Because I have seen people get their signs picked up.
Yeah.
All 11, 15.
Before COVID, I was using another agent's signs on an open house and they were picked up.
Yeah.
But they were nice enough to bring them to me and say, hey, we're gonna give you a warning.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
give them back to you.
Yeah, they'll hold them hostage sometimes,
Yeah.
like $100 a sign.
But since COVID, I haven't heard anything.
I have stickers in mine.
And
You
we're
do?
still
That's
not
good.
allowed to put balloons in the fence.
You cannot put balloons in them, you cannot, put them in the center medians.
Rotary playing.
Yes, cause I still see people do it.
But you
In the
can,
center.
you can do balloons in if it's in front of the house, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
because
in
I've
front of
done
the
that.
house. Yes.
I know you can't on the corners.
Not on the corners,
Put
or
it in
you
front.
can't, you know, the center median
Yeah.
in the street, you can't put it there because it's a distraction and,
And don't obstruct where they press the button to cross.
Oh, okay.
yes. You can use, that's the best place ever. So, where am I at? Okay, and also, when you're doing open houses as a new agent, you get to practice your conversation, your script, you know, answer questions and provide your what?
Your contact info.
Yes, but it rhymes with value.
So can we, so that, and we can promote another agent's house on our social media, right?
Yes, if you're doing open house.
Absolutely.
So, okay,
Bless you.
prospecting. How can you prospect and market for lead gen?
So the prospect.
Door knocking.
Door knocking, perfect, right? What are you gonna say, you know, when you door knock?
I have an open house coming up on Saturday. Would love for you to stop by and tell me what you think about that.
What else can you just throw in there?
If you know anyone who would be interested.
Okay, what else can you add value to them?
Did you
Maybe
need a
for their
CMA?
house, CMA. That's usually the easiest route to go. You can also take your cards, flyers. We have pamphlets here. You can take pamphlets or make your own, you know, if you're working with a lender, they can make you flyers, your own marketing. Everyone, nosy neighbors can get it too. So I'm all about that, you know, if they wanna be nosy, I'm gonna give you all of this stuff, you know, so I'm about to do some little Halloween stuff, you know, for the neighborhood, my neighborhood, and then maybe some other neighborhoods. I have an open house this weekend, I might do a lot of prospecting in that neighborhood this week. So that's the route that you guys should definitely go. Let's look at this page, the benefits of open houses. What do you think are some benefits of open houses? One of their primary benefits of open houses is that they are relatively cheap, right? So that's the number one right there, inexpensive. Okay, Ramses, you say you do open houses, you love it. How much money do you spend on an open house?
Sometimes nothing.
Sometimes nothing.
But every now and then I'll buy like donuts or something. Escrow has open house packages, by the way.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Escrow has open house packages for you to help you guys look better and, you know, cooler or whatever. But yeah, it can be pretty much nothing. So that's the one thing. They don't cost much, right? But they do require a significant, you know, time investment. So that's where you're gonna put your time in. By preparing flyers, printing them out, doing your research, door knocking, all that's gonna take time. Might not be cheap, but time is money, so go ahead.
Do you make calls, like while you're in the open house, do you also do like prospecting?
Not while I'm doing the open house, but prior to, like Brandon said, I don't know if you were here when he said it, before he calls the neighborhood.
Yes.
And you can ask whoever your title rep is, Frank here does it, ask for a farm, and then he'll give you whatever neighborhood, all the phone numbers in that neighborhood, and you can call. Do you call? Or you have people call?
Actually, I do. Yeah, I mean, I don't do it all the time. More John does. John, you've done it, right? Have you done it?
Yeah.
John's yeah, it's fast way to get contacts. Do it anytime.
Open houses are also a very useful prospecting tool for lead gen, that is, to meet buyers, sellers, and who else do you meet? We haven't talked about this.
Agents?
Other agents. Other agents are gonna come, you know, especially your local agents that, guess what you guys do? Work together. Okay, so it's always good to have that rapport with agents. One thing about me, I know almost all the agents out here. And it was through talking to them, getting to know them, going networking, open houses. You meet an agent, you're like, send me an offer. Because I worked with him or her, and it was the best, you know, experience as a buyer-seller transaction. So, you know, you want to work with the people that you've had great transactions with because you know how they work. So it's always great meeting other agents and knowing them. Clients. Agents meet at open houses. One of the things that you always want to do once you get the conversation starting is, hey, find out if they what?
They have an agent.
If they have a buyer.
If they what? Yes, you asked if they have an agent for sure. But I heard it over there.
They're pre-qualified.
If they qualify for a house. Because sometimes those nosy neighbors don't qualify for a house. Or anyone. They just want to go see, and maybe they don't know it's all about knowledge. So guess what the best thing to do or to take is with you?
A lender.
A lender. Who's taking lenders with them?
I've had lenders show up.
You had lenders show up?
They just show up. And I'm just like, all right.
And stay there with you for that purpose? Okay. Anyone have taken lenders? Okay. Do you guys have preferred lenders? That are they usually always willing to go?
Some of them, no. They'll give me the material and then, you know,
Okay.
depends on where it is.
Okay. Get yourself another lesson. Have you taken a lender? Yes. Do you have a lender?
I don't have, I've never done an open house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we got someone new to open houses.
Well, yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Good. So here is one of the takes on it. You can take a lender because I don't know how knowledgeable you or anyone is with the finance stuff. It's not easy, and we don't like to mess with that.
Yeah.
We don't mess with that. They can tell us their FICO is 850 and they make $1 million. I don't care until the lender sees it. So it's all on them. Anything financial, it's always great to have a lender there so they can talk to them about
So
that.
we just ask them to go, we don't pay them, right? We just go?
No, because they'll get paid with a deal.
Oh.
Yeah, so if they get approved, you gotta use them.
Yeah, if they get approved, you do have to use them. Don't go with someone else. That's messed up. So, because the main thing you invest when preparing an open house is your time, right? And the return on investment, the ROI can be huge, you know, when it comes to making that deal. You can generate leads, qualify leads, and potentially get the closed deal. Qualified leads are important because it gives participants opportunities to get face-to-face and build meaningful relationships with clients. Building relations in person, it gives you so when you're there, of course, if you're gonna be Eeyore and mad and sad and have a good attitude, don't do open houses, okay? Because you're not gonna get that reciprocation back. You know, people see that you're bummed out, you know, mad, you're gonna fight with your spouse and you don't wanna go, maybe you're hungover, the works. Don't go. Don't go because it's not gonna be beneficial to you or to the buyers or the seller. So it's always great to go have a good personality, be pumped, love what you're doing, and remember, most people that come in there, not most, but a bigger percentage, they don't have agents. Okay? They don't have agents. Yeah, you're gonna get agents coming in, but most of them that come to open houses, people are just driving and, they don't have agents. So that's always a great way to make sure you get that lead. All right, any ahas? Aha. I'm gonna need some ahas. Huh?
Go door knock.
Go door knock. Okay. Anything else?
I heard about the circle prospect.
Okay. Yeah, calling. So now talk to your title rep, and it's easy. It's just he sends you a bunch of phone numbers.
You have to have a script, so you know how to touch people.
Thank you.
All right. Where are we on our agenda? Best practices. So we've covered why open houses are beneficial. Now let's go over some of the best practices to put in place to solidify your effort. I think we're on page
7.5.
7.5, yeah, 'cause I don't have it on my thing. Set goals. Remember the 6 personal perspectives, specifically E to P, with everything we do. It's essential to be purposeful in our mindset and our actions. Before your open house, set concrete and achievable goals. For example, tell yourself your goal is to add 6 people to your database, 7 people to your database. Always set that goal for yourself. All right? Now I get it. If no one shows up, guess what? When you do your prospecting, people do the prospecting after their open houses. They'll go take flyers after their open houses and be like, hey, you missed a great open house. I'm gonna have it again tomorrow. That's a great time to also do your prospecting and get that goal met. It's important to set goals that are achievable and will require a lot of work, because everything requires work. Setting attainable and difficult goals will help maximize your ROI. And what is ROI again?
Return on
Return on investment. Okay, what are other goals that can be useful to set for yourself before you host an open house? What are some goals that you guys can think of? Besides let me add 7 people to my database.
Get the house sold. Get the house sold.
Okay, get the house sold. What are other goals?
Traffic.
More relationships?
Did you say traffic? Traffic?
Traffic.
Number of people coming through?
Yep.
10. Need 10 to come through.
Need 10 to come through.
Or talk to 10.
So how will you do that? How will you try
To track it.
to get traffic?
Oh,
Or to track it? How will you do
are you
that?
asking me or?
No, I'm asking you. Okay.
Oh, to get, so traffic, well, what I consider traffic is actually people through the door, right? How many signups, you could say? I need 10 names on this thing or 5 names. That's what I mean by traffic. To
I know.
get-
So I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. I show up. What if no one shows up because no one sees an ad or whatever?
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
Gotcha, so 7th level open house, right, is you go and if you miss out on the open house, do other activities to get contacts. So if you swing and miss on the open house, you at least got door knocking, maybe got some contacts through there. Circle prospecting, social media.
Yeah, social media, before and after, set those goals. That's a great goal. So once you set those goals, stick with them, all right? Don't do I'm gonna have an accountability partner and you don't meet with them. They're doing now. So, let's think back to earlier when we set goals are not just to get appointments. Open houses, of course, and we're gonna say this a million times, are a great way to what?
Network.
Generate leads.
Leads. Okay, the next one. What's the next one?
Pick the house.
Pick the house. Okay, now by picking the house, so understand, picking the house is a crucial step in the open house process. It's important to look for great and visible locations, preferably not more than, people say this, but in our neighborhoods, it can be weird, no more than like 3-4 turns. That's what they people say, you know, because you have signs, so you can do if you have a lot of signs, you can manage those turns. Some streets can be tricky, you know. So once you choose the home, what's the first thing that happens when you choose a home, besides prospect?
You market it.
Okay, marketing, but what's one thing, do you know where the house is?
Investigate the home?
Yes, familiarize yourself
With the area.
with the neighborhood, for sure. You should already be doing this as part of your strategy to connect with your market, but it's always key. Like I said, I made every mistake, but someone said, hey, open house, and I forgot that I was gonna do an open house. And I woke up like, oh crap, I have to do this open house. I'm sure it's happened to people. And I had to look for the address. I'm like, okay, where is this? And so, you know, I didn't research the neighborhood. I didn't research the home. I just went straight to the open house, you know? And that's not good, you know, being a good realtor. So you guys have to make sure you get familiar with your neighborhood. As you prepare for the open house, you should get to know what? When you familiarize yourself. If there are, go ahead.
Other open houses,
Other open houses, okay, houses for sale, shopping centers, grocery stores,
Schools.
architecture, schools, coffee shops, Starbucks, whatever, Targets, everyone loves Target. Remember, when you're choosing your house, you don't always have to pick the most expensive house, especially in different markets, or the least expensive. Now, don't get it twisted. There are agents that won't do open houses because of price, because of locations, etc. Don't be that agent, because remember, you have to change your philosophy, and it's all about mindset. Just because a house is in our market, let's say it's $250, doesn't mean you're not gonna sell it. Doesn't mean, oh man, you know what, I don't wanna do that house. Because obviously, if someone's giving you opportunity to do the house, they don't wanna do it. That's your opportunity. And, you know, right now, if you're doing a $700,000, $800,000 house, it's tough. It's tough right now. With our shift, it's tough. I'm not saying you're not gonna sell it quick, I'm just saying it's tough. Facts are facts right now in our market. So don't be that agent that just because, you know, the house doesn't look great. And of course, we all wanna do the best houses, open houses that look nice. Some of them aren't gonna look nice, some of them are gonna be expensive or whatnot. Just don't have that philosophy and that attitude, because you guys should be pumped up to do all these open houses. You know, right now, I'm pumped for my open house next week, you know, so we have to be grateful for that. Consider what the average price houses are selling for you in your market and adjust your choice of house based on this. So if the goal of an open house is to generate and qualify leads, what other things should we think about before we pick the home of our open house? What do we always think about, or what should we think about when we pick a house? I just mentioned one of them. Location. Price range. Houses around location, and one of them, yes, this might be a reason for you not to want to do open houses, safety. You know, there are some areas and places that you might not want to do the open house. But that's when you take a buddy, a spouse, you know, someone. So always take that into consideration. You have to do your homework all the way around. Be a good agent.
What amenities are in that neighborhood or pertain to that house?
Yes.
Any amenities nearby?
Yes. So you gotta make sure you know all that stuff. Because guess what? When someone comes in, talks to you about it, and you don't know, you can feel down there.
Yeah, some people
I
say
should-
there's
I should
nothing to
answer
do
that
here in the
question.
Antelope Valley.
Yeah.
So you can do it.
There's a magazine that gives you like all the things from for the month from Palmdale, like that with you.
Yeah, the Antelope Valley magazine.
Okay, what's the next one? Who can read the next one?
Pick the time.
Prepare and practice.
Prepare and practice. Consider inviting a speaker such as an inspector or lender. And like we talked about, you know, we can have someone come. Before you host an open house, prepare a list of questions you may be asked and practice your conversation starters. You know, like you guys are doing with your, you know, your scripts. Some questions you might face will test your knowledge of the house and your market. Trust me, I've been there, like where they ask you a question and you're like, fake it. And remember what when George said, fake it till you make it, but don't fake it till you make it. Know the answer as much as you can. You know, if you don't know it, then you say, what did you say earlier?
A great question. Let me find out and I'll get back to you.
Yep.
What's your phone number again?
Did you sign in?
Potential clients, they might ask why the house is for sale, when the home was renovated last, if the home has any structural issues, and how long the house has been on the market. All those questions you should definitely 100% know.
I've gotten a lot of, when was the last time the roof was redone?
Yes.
I've gotten a lot of
Roof
roof.
is-
So I always
roof
make
is
sure
big.
now that when I do open house for the agent, to find that out if I don't know it myself on that, because I've been getting that a lot.
It says it on the MLS on the left.
Sometimes if they don't have it, like, cause I've been there and then they didn't have, and the agent didn't even know, she had to ask her client.
I saw that for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. For example, like, what are some other questions that might have visitors ask at an open house? Let me just start off with one that, I'm gonna do this open house on Saturday, and the listing, why I got it, they're gonna ask, why are they selling this house? Right? And guess what my answer is gonna be? My friend died. And she asked, we have to sell the house, she died. So her parents are here and you know, they're fixing the house, they have to figure everything out, and it sucks, you know, I lost a friend, but they asked me to sell the house. That's something I have to disclose, number one. So if they're gonna ask me that, and that's gonna be my answer. So there's many reasons why. What are other reasons that, questions that visitors might ask?
What's the square footage of the house?
Perfect. What's the square footage of the house?
And the lot.
And the lot. Guys like asking the lot size. I don't know why.
Yes, they do.
Guys like asking the lot size. I'm like, because they always ask, oh, how big's the lot?
Yeah. And like,
7,000 square feet, like 8,000 square feet.
Right.
Okay.
Like,
First
first
of all,
where do you take the printout that has all the details? What is that called again?
Yes.
What is that called?
The MLS, this the first sheet, right?
The sheet that is
Yes.
on the MLS.
So that's, unless you don't do like some nice flyers, some people will just take the MLS sheet
Client.
and put it there, you know, it has the information, yeah, your client copy, and it has the information there. You know, you don't have to be fancy schmancy, it has everything you need to know there. But some people make flyers, some people make little pamphlets. What else, those are good ones.
your bill.
Your bill, of course. Anything else?
So, one of the open houses that I did last weekend,
Yeah.
somebody asked me, what happened with the water spots? I said, I don't know, but I can find out. And I asked, and, yeah. So you do have to like look at the house and make sure anything that stands out that you know what happened, because they're gonna ask.
100%. I always look at the ceiling when I take my clients, because I don't want them, after putting an offer, you know, they're like, hey, inspector comes like, there was a leak here, there's a leak, hey, did they fix it, did home warranty come, is it gonna still leak? You know, I always look at that, and yes, definitely wanna know, because it could be fixed, and they just, doesn't look that great, you know what I mean? Definitely ask your sellers, or if you're doing it first, another agent, ask them. Were you gonna say something?
No.
Okay. So that's a great, question. Explain that bringing a speaker, it's telling me to explain, sorry. Bringing a speaker. Hey, this is different than the other night.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It's, okay, bringing a speaker, like a lender or an inspector, can help facilitate conversations and answer questions like we talked about. Who's brought an inspector? I never brought an inspector, that's a good one.
I've had some stop by, like Ramsey was talking about, I've had some stop by.
Yeah.
That's not a bad,
That's
never
not
heard
bad.
it talk
I
that
never
way.
heard about taking an
Yeah.
inspector.
Good idea.
Inspect that home for.
No, just to be with you while you do your open house. If they're not busy, of course, but,
They have any home.
they can come and answer questions, about the house.
Oh, yeah.
Structural stuff, give their own, advice on the house. So yes, during an open house, you have the visitors, what's the number one thing you have them do?
Sign in.
Sign in upon their arrival. A lot of people don't like signing. I know some people have agents, so they don't sign. But some people don't want to give their information because they think you're going to be a bugaboo and bug them all day.
So the best time is to make them at the beginning?
Yes, 100%.
Because sometimes I ask one person at the beginning, they were like, no, we're just gonna look, but then I ask them again while I offer something to drink or eat, and then they sign in.
Okay.
But they didn't want to do it.
Sometimes you have to tell them that the seller requires them to sign in to even look at the house.
I've done that.
I do it every time.
Yeah.
If they say no big deal, I'm like, all right, go up.
Yeah, whatever.
Most people are uncomfortable telling you.
Yeah, one time when they said no, I said, can you just at least put your name so that they feel like.
I'm gonna give you the wrong number, so.
Yeah, they don't want to give you the wrong number or whatever, but
But I like to break the ice when I offer something to eat.
You put the wrong number. The seller's gonna ask me to call
I think
back.
it's just whenever you will ask, just ask.
Yeah, just
Most
ask.
people don't.
Yeah.
Most people don't, just
yeah,
ask.
and ask and they'll do it. Don't tell them to put the wrong number. But just ask, they'll do it. And if they don't really want to do it, then they don't do it.
Yeah, I've done only with people who are really difficult. They're like, oh no, I don't want to. Like they give me something like, hey, look, the seller just wants me to have a number that I can call back to market the property back, and so you could do me this favor. And the really difficult people.
Go ahead.
When you have an open house that is not your listing, obviously, and you want to do it on Zillow and do all those cool things now they have going on, right? Can you do that, or you have
The
to do
agent
that?
has to do it. The agent of the listing agent, they have to do it because they have access to the house and they're the only ones that can access that property. Yeah.
Oh.
So you would just tell them, hey, can you promote it on there? And I don't see why they wouldn't do it.
If they have the capability, right?
Yes, yes, and they should.
Okay.
Some agents, like we said, make it a requirement. It's also stating a safety measure. You can ask them to leave something, of value while, they tour the home. Some people say, hey, let me have your car keys. I've never done that. Or a driver's license. I don't know where they would do that, but that's kind of weird. It says,
Never heard
never
of it.
heard of that either. So once you capture their information, you have plenty of opportunities to wow them with your technology and all the things that you guys do, your expertise after the event. If you do not have a sign-in sheet, what are some ways you can capture the contact information? iPad, what else?
Your phone.
Your phone.
Give them the app.
Give them the app, digital cards, your email, all that stuff. The app is great. But yeah, if you don't have one, that I think Command has something on that you can just write their name, do it right there on the app while you open it up. So the time you choose for an open house is important as well. When you know your market well and have connected with it, picking the right time to host the open house should be simple. Open houses have been known to work in any market at all dates and times. As you know your market in order to drive the most traffic through your open house. So the key phrase is know your market, right? Some people like doing them early, 10 o'clock, you know, that's technically the earliest that people do them. 10 o'clock, 10 to 1, 10, you know, some people do them 12 to 2, 12 to 3, some people do them, you know, 1 to 4, or some people do them 7 hours. It just depends on how long, you know, you guys want to be there or what time. And it also depends on where you live at, you know, and how the market is there. Picking the time for your open house goes hand in hand with picking the theme. If you're having open house on Sunday afternoon during football season, I've had, it could be tough, but also the wives will drag the husbands out, who cares if football's on? And it could not be their team on. I've gotten a deal at an open house, I just remember this too. It was wearing a Cowboy jersey and my team's Cowboys. So we just started talking about the team. And they were on, and I was mad because I was in an open house, and he was mad because he was there. So we connected, and you know, it was smart to know about someone's team. So there's different times where you could do themes. Who's done themes? Different themes.
Themes?
No, I've never done themes.
I've done like Twilight open houses. Those kind of have a theme to them, but I don't know. There's some places that get pretty.
What's a Twilight open house?
Yeah.
I've done Twilight open house on a nice house.
You want to tell them what it is?
Well, people do it differently. I had a house in Rancho Golf Course, Vista Golf Course. No, the Old Country Club.
They said sunset.
And it was sunset. We had appetizers and refreshments. Laura's not here. We had appetizer and refreshments, and we promoted it to all the agents to come check out the house. It was more of a broker's open. It was a broker open. So, and if they had clients, they can bring them as well. And it was awesome. We had cheese, we had made it all nice. It was a nice house. We put decorations up. It was great. That's how we did it. How did you do yours?
Same way. Ours was nice. It had a nice view, and it had a balcony on the top.
Good.
But the seller was mainly moved out, and he had a whole bunch of like his pool. He had a pool table and foosball table and some air hockey tables. So he let us use those. So we turned those all on and invited everyone over. And same thing though. Had some refreshments, some food. You can get fun with it. But it's just like you're whining and dining people.
What are other things that you can do to attract visitors? Raffle. What else? Come on, these are easy, guys.
Before and after church services.
Church, I always say that those are the best times. At church, people love to go see houses after church. Especially because they're driving out of church, they see open house signs, hey, let's go check it out. Okay, but what can you do to attract? I hear raffle. What else? This attracts me.
What if I had like a
So I want food.
yes, it's like a taco truck or something.
You can do that, just food, any type of food, you got food, snacks, that's always great. You can also market what on your open houses and things like that. You're giving away
Starbucks cards.
gift cards. Gift cards are always great. What are the benefits of holding an open house at the same time other open houses are around?
A lot of traffic.
You get a lot more
Foot
traffic.
traffic, you get a lot of foot traffic.
Wait,
Go ahead.
so for giveaways,
Mhm.
should you as the agent have some sort of like, return, like, oh, come to an open house am I just giving it away for free, or am I asking them for some sort of like, do you know anybody else that wants to buy or sell type of thing, or?
Maybe give me a lead.
Or a raffle. Oh, I do raffle.
I do a raffle, but some of the tickets have
Yeah.
like, you can put the contact information on the back, say,
Yeah.
for anybody who puts the contact information, I'll do a raffle.
You do the raffle and that's how they win.
That's how
And
they
then
win.
you get all your phone numbers from the ticket that you give them and then they take.
No, he's saying if he should require the people entering the raffle to give him
I
like a
do.
lead.
I do,
Right?
yeah.
Or the
You're
requirement.
You're saying to the other
requirement would be
agents,
just
right?
showing up.
For other agents?
No,
Or just for buyers?
just for buyers, but.
Right.
Have them if they want to be part of the raffle, they put their information. If they don't, then they don't get to be part of the raffle.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so they put their info on there and then you do the raffle and be honest, whoever wins, wins, keep it. What are the benefits of open houses at non-traditional times? You may attract clients that normally don't attend open houses because of scheduling usually. Like when we do Twilight, if we do want buyers to come in, then, you know, during that time, a lot of people are off and they're like, oh, it's open house right now? Remember George was saying he would do open houses every day up to like, I think he said like 7 o'clock or something like that. And he said it worked. So any time a day you can do open houses, which if you're allowed to. Let's go to the next one. This says know your market, right? Prepare stats. So if you've been practicing connecting with and knowing your market, then gathering the neighborhood stats for your open house will be fast. What are things about the neighborhood before hosting open houses, helpful things that you should, you know, know? Parks. Schools, local information is provided by the school district.
Other homes for sale?
Other homes for sale. Employment information, which is good, because there's this neighborhood on the east side, right, that I know of, that I sold only to people that work at Northrop, because it's down the street from Northrop. It's on 30th. It's Traditions and Sky Tower Park. A bunch of Northrop people live there, because it's literally a mile, 2 miles straight down. And they're like, oh, it's perfect, I live right here. Know that stuff, because that's employment information. Recreation's nearby. Also, that same area, what is there?
The soccer park.
Soccer park. And a lot of people take their kids there, it's a great opportunity for them. You know, another thing that I get, especially when you get people from down below, is how long is it gonna take me to get from my house
They commute.
to the freeway, the commute, and from there to my job. So some people want, you know, like the open house that I'm gonna do this weekend is literally right next to the freeway. And hopefully that attracts people because they might wanna commute. So that's, always know that stuff. Let's go to the next one, because we don't have that much time. Be safe. Okay, what are ways to be safe? Let's just go
Buddy
over these.
system.
Buddy system. Yep.
Yeah, that was right.
Take a donut.
Oh, I'm thinking of like
No, that's only JD, take a donut.
I told you whoever wasn't looking.
Use the buddy system. What else? Arrive early. Always like get there on time.
To prepare.
Means arriving early to prepare. That way, you know, you can, and it says right here, like check everything, check the entrances, check the back, check for squatters. There was one time I went and there were squatters in the closet and he ran away. You know, my clients got scared.
Right.
Yeah. It was broad daylight and you just heard him like open the window and leave before I karate chopped him. So it was just one of those things where just make sure you're safe. All right. It says park on the street. Why is that?
To leave the driveway open so it looks more like appealing.
No, for safety
No.
reasons.
Oh.
For safety reasons. Because someone wants to cause you harm or whatever, they can entrap your car or whatnot. So it says, keep it on the street. Yeah, they can like park behind you and you can't leave.
Like if you're parked in the.
If you're parked in the driveway. Yeah, so agent safety should be top priority for hosting open houses because there's a risk involved in open houses. Using a buddy system like it says right there. Consider sharing your GPS location. Send your location to your spouse, to someone you know, a friend, hey, I'm here. You know, it's always a safety measure. Make sure your cell phone is fully charged. I have friends that every time we're hanging out, their phone is gonna die.
My wife is.
right? It's so always have your phone charged, make sure the lights are all on. It says check your local COVID guidelines and follow market center guidelines and checklists for open houses. Like we discussed, when over open house conversation starters, it may be useful to bring a partner with you to open houses. What are other practices, safe practices for open houses you can think of?
Never-
Besides no karate.
Never let anybody walk behind you.
Never let anyone walk behind you.
If you have your Life 360 app, that's very useful. Actually, you have to be careful. I don't know how I did it, but I had pressed a couple of times for emergency, and my son in Arizona calls me and says, "Are you okay?" And why? He says, "Because I think you just pressed the button for emergency." So Life 360, you have people already in the system, and you can make an emergency call right there.
Yeah.
Central Doc used to provide that, do they not do that?
And they'll know where you
I
are.
don't
Do you remember
I
it?
haven't, no, I don't.
Well, at one time on the app for the Central Doc key,
I just
they
don't.
had like for emergency.
Like a panic.
Yeah.
Well, that's for showing, so they still have it with for showing. I don't know if it's for open houses.
Oh, I know where they, don't know where they
I have it set up for showing, it's like, on the same app, if you go to a showing, it'll tell you, like, if you don't check it, it'll.
Well, I know that, but I saw something, it was something different that I seen like more than a year ago. It was something different. It was like an emergency alert. That
I
you can
also.
alert another, in your contact. for
Oh,
an
yeah, I
emergency.
do remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still there.
Is it still there?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
Always tell other agents that are your friends or whatnot, about the open house so they can do Popeyes. They'll come, not Popeyes, Popeyes.
Better bring Popeyes.
Right, so yes, I always have other agents that want to come over to the open house. I'm like, come check it out. That's always a good one. Any ahas for this? We're running out of time. I want to get you guys.
Twilight open houses.
Huh?
Twilight open houses.
Twilight open houses.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun. That was fun. I did my first one. I liked it. Oh, that was different.
It is different. And people show up. People show up. Okay, prepare prospect. The difference between big and really big is how you manage your time and focus. Let's refer to our participant guide. And it says prepare prospect and pursue. Model to approach your open house. Go to the blank pages, the next one that says prepare. Remember, the goal for your open house is to get appointments with active buyers and sellers. To be at your best and achieve what you set out for yourself takes preparation, number one. Schedule preparation time during the week before, not like I did. I just went that one day and I didn't know what I was doing. Make sure you prepare prior to. It's time, it takes time. It's inexpensive, but it takes time, remember. You'll spend more time preparing for an open house than you will be hosting the event. So, prepare your mindset beforehand. Set high and achievable goals. Remove limiting beliefs, we talked about that. Focus on your success and believe in yourself. Always practice conversations for greeting people, answering questions, capturing contacts. How many leads do you intend to capture?
As many as possible.
How many appointments would you like to get from your next open house? Remind yourselves also that it's not just gonna show up. You have to prepare, do your marketing, do all that stuff. Okay, let me see. Ramses, come on, real fast. Yes, ma'am. Your role play.
Oh.
Can I see that? Can I read that?
Okay.
You can be the agent.
Okay, you'll be the agent and the buyer. This is gonna be a good video for Keller Williams AV Instagram. All right. So remember,
Okay.
she's walking in the door. What's the first thing you do? Don't forget that first.
Wait, they're at an open house right now?
Yes, sir. She's walking in the door.
Ding dong. Abel's calling.
Trying to get in the mindset of my open. Okay, go ahead. You come in.
I walk in, I'm in.
Hey, how you doing? Welcome. You picked a beautiful day to buy a house.
Hi.
How are you doing? Where are you coming from today?
I just saw signs, so I just decided to just stop by and take a look at the house.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yes.
how much is this house?
This house is going for $575 right
Okay.
now, but you know, we're willing to take anything right now. Why don't you come in? Can you sign in for me real quick, just so the seller knows who's coming in and out?
Sure.
All right, cool. Yeah, so the house is around 3,000 square feet. It's got 5 bedrooms, 4 baths. If you go upstairs, you'll see the big loft. So if you have any questions, by all means, you know, come take a look. Let me know. Let's take a look.
Okay. Hey, so what's going on with the water in the living room? The watermarks?
The watermarks in the living room.
Yeah.
You know what? Not 100% sure. I believe we're getting a pre-inspection done on the house, so that way before we even hit escrow, we will already know, you know, what's wrong with that house. So
Okay.
doesn't look like it's too much damage.
Okay. Do you currently have any offer?
No, so we just put the house on the market 2 days ago, so it's still fairly fresh.
Okay. Okay.
That's it? You insure the house?
Sure, yeah. So if you come over here, you'll see this brand new, like, you know, kitchen, open space. You know, we go upstairs. 3 bedrooms. All the lights have automatic lights, so once you walk in, you know, all the lights turn on by themselves.
Okay.
Have you talked to a lender yet, by any chance?
No.
Oh, okay. Do you have a realtor?
Yeah, my cousin.
Oh, okay. She's not showing you houses?
No, she's just not here.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, if you're interested, I think I recommend you to talk to a lender to see what you can get pre-qualified for, and see, you know, what you're able to get.
Aren't the interest rates high at the moment?
They're actually still historically low, but I'm not a lender, so I wouldn't be able to.
All right, big round of applause for that. So that's one of the good things that he did. And good job, buyer. He had answers, you know, like what was the #1 thing he did?
Welcome, sign in.
Sign in.
Sign in.
Right, he had information about the house, which was good. She tried to give him curveballs, and you know, he answered them to the best he can. And he was about to go into interest rates, and I'm glad he stopped and said, I'm not a lender. So that's a good job, you know. Like I said, sometimes people are gonna say they have agents, and you just roll with the punches. They have agents, they have agents. If not, then that's when you try to make them a client. Okay, we're almost done. Give me like 3, 4, 5 minutes. So after you're doing all that hard work, like picking your house, now you have a few steps that will involve maximizing your potential client traffic at your open house. A lot of it will involve posting online now that we live in an online world. 93% of buyers use websites to find a house, right? So go where the people are, post online, open houses, do your social media, your Zillow, wherever you can, on your MLS, everything. Right now, if you call people, you have to always remember there is a do not call list. It's called TCPA. So there's a do not call list, and sometimes you get those numbers still from title. And the Telephone Consumer Protection Act, people can just get mad at you about it. And it's not a call list. So just keep aware of that. Always encourage yourself to call up to 100 people in the days leading up to it. So like for the week, call 100 people around there, around the neighborhood, people that you may know, call even agents. Hey, I call agents all the time. Hey, I have this house coming up. You got a buyer? Hey, that's included in that as well. So always remember. What clients like to know, community and neighborhood information, relocating information, first-time buyers, and mortgage information. Always know that when people come to an open house, they intend to know the community and neighborhood information. And remember, they're building a lifestyle. So, I know we always say we're in the business of what? Relationships, right? We're in the business of people. But technically, what are we in the business of? Sales. Sales is the greatest profession in the world, to me, right? Sales is the greatest profession on the face of this earth. I believe America and the US is the greatest because we are the land of sales. We're the land of salespeople, right? We're not the greatest because we're the biggest, because there's Russia, there's China, there's India. We're not the greatest because we have the best resources. We're not the greatest because we have the most people, because China has billions of people and India does too. We're the greatest because we're the land of salespeople. And you should be excited to be in sales because it can triple, quadruple everything you have. You know what I mean? And it's great that you guys are learning. Your market is number one. Learn your market and learn everything that you need to do, especially when it comes to open houses. I know we're gonna do every single one, but I wanna get you guys out on time. Everyone always says, time. I wish I had more time. A lot of us are like, hey, if I had more time, I would make more money. If I have more time, I will do better in my business. That's not right. Number one, you can't get someone else's time. Someone told me, and I wrote this down, they're like, if I had extra time, I have extra money. I'm like, well, you can't get extra time. There's no way you can get extra time, so forget it. You know what you're doing when you're looking for extra time is just making up excuses. So now if you can't get more time, then what can you get more of? Just to make your business bigger, better, successful. I know you've heard it before.
Make better use of the time, prioritize.
But you can't get more time. What can you get more of or give more of? Value. Value. Okay, value makes a difference in results. You can't get more time, but you can create more value. Number one lesson in economics, business sales, is we primarily get paid for your what?
Value.
You don't get paid for your time. It is your value in our business, okay? So I know it takes time, though, to bring up that value. So here's the question. Is it possible to become twice as valuable for the twice as much as time that you have? 3 times as valuable. Can you be 3 times as valuable and get paid 3 times more?
Yes.
Yes. Look at some agents. They have the same time we have, and they're making 7 times more. So it's all about your value. There's always an if. If you work primarily on yourself, that's where you will get the value. So you guys have to make sure you're always working on yourself. And this is great what you guys are doing. Working on yourself, working on your business. Everyone wants more money. Everyone wants more, better jobs. And I'm not just talking real estate. Above average jobs, above average money. You can't get that unless you make yourself above average. So keep doing what you guys are doing. I know it's not easy. Make sure you guys stick with your goals. Don't give up. And trust me, if you guys need help, we're here. I'm here. If you have any questions for anything, I'm always here willing to help. I love mentoring everyone. I love helping. Even if I don't have the answers, I'm here to help. So you guys let me know. And I'm glad you guys came. Thank you.
For open houses.
picture, I have one that's written, but, something else. Iliana was my friend.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, there you do.
Yes, 665. 537. JIMMY.
Super.
537.
Wait, what?
For sure.
Well, these are what happened to my last open house, that's what I was saying, like.
I always say, you know, when we're kind of giving
I don't know yet.
that they can have the living room, like, an
But is there a
infection.
time?
And